Have you ever wanted to tame the oceans of ARK and become the master of the seas, like some prehistoric Jack Sparrow? Well, too bad, cause the oceans of ARK are the definition of hell. So yeah, as you may have noticed, today I'm going to talk about the oceans of ARK, arguably its biggest problem, and discuss changes which I personally would love to see for the seas of ARK, or at least be taken into consideration for ARK 2. First of all, let's discuss a bit the current situation, and to be honest, it's quite dire. If you want to jump into water before the mid-game, you're completely screwed. I mean, almost any and every dino can and will kill you, that is, unless you don't drown. And even after you tame a couple of water dinos, the oceans of ARK are still horrible. Megalodons everywhere. Near the surface, Nidarias. But go too deep and you'll find 3 donkeys and 3 mozas holding hands with a Tuzo. And let's not forget, any raft you bring will just be eaten up by these lads. And now, without further ado, Wildcard, here are my recommendations for changes to the oceans of ARK. First, an oxygen bar rework. Hear me out. Our survivor can withstand bites from an Allosaurus and be completely fine the next day. He can build entire skyscrapers by hand and on its own, but he can only hold his breath as much as an average Joe. Clearly something ain't right here. Okay, so first of all, I would increase the base oxygen. I mean, if our survivor is already superhuman, just let him hold his breath for like an extra minute, nothing crazy. But instead of upgrading it like a normal stat, make it so that the more time you spend underwater, the more your max oxygen increases. And another extra idea, the amount of oxygen consumed per second should depend on the depth at which you are swimming. Yes, these mechanics might fail at first, as they will definitely need some balancing, but in the long run this will increase immersion and somewhat the realism of the game, while also rewarding players for spending time in the water, as currently most people simply hate the oceans of ARK. Next we have the dinos, starting off with the Nidaria. I actually decided to Google this and discovered that a bunch of turtles and sharks actually eat jellyfish without any kind of trouble. So explain to me please, Wildcard, why the one in our game can delete my Spinos from existence? Yeah, it makes no sense, just nerf them, damn it. I mean, yeah, they should be relatively dangerous to the survivor, but not to my goddamn giant lizard of death. Next up, the Ammonite. Honestly, I do not know the purpose of this creature in the game. It's made only to annoy us. You'd think that they are harmless, an easy path to some oil and pearls. Wrong. It would be wiser to hit Poseidon himself than this thing, as it calls upon the powers of the seas. And oh yeah, that's a Moza coming for you. Good luck, buddy. So yeah, I understand it is a challenging mechanic, but it makes no sense at all. It's stupid, it's annoying, and it should be changed. Someone recently proposed in a comment that the Ammonite should be rideable, with no saddle needed. It could passively generate Ammonite bile, and maybe oil too. That would make it a lot more useful as a production creature for the water tribes, just like the Achatina. Make it a passive tame, and you can even keep the current mechanic too, if you find it necessary for the ocean. Another one that needs some changes is the Liopleurodon. A massive fail in my opinion. It sounds cool, it looks pretty cool, but the "I'm a fish, so I eat honey, and oh yeah, after 30 minutes, I'm gonna leave ya," paired with the fact that you have higher odds of winning the lottery than of finding one of these guys, is so annoying. Just remove the whole 30-minute bullshit, make them not that rare, give the lucky effect to the player that tamed the guy for, let's say, an hour, and this could easily become a great marine tame. And the last of the creatures I would like to talk about today, and arguably one of the biggest screw-ups in ARK's history, the Megalodon. Now at this point I would usually let you know my feelings regarding the Megalodon in ARK, in a very barbaric way, which would probably take a lot of However, I'm not gonna do that, since yesterday my mom told me that she watches my videos when she misses me, and I know she wouldn't agree with me using such strong words. So for this video only, I will make an exception. Just for you, Mom. Oh, and by the way, Mom, Please stick only to my ARK videos, okay? Anyways, we were talking about the Meg. Oh boy. The Megalodon could have been so much more. I mean, in real life, the Meg was a 20-meter long, 30 plus tons behemoth with a bite force higher than that of any creature ever. In the game though, it is an annoying little shark that can be killed by almost any aquatic creature. And for me, this is even more annoying now that the Rhinognatha, a new rideable flyer, will be added to the game. In real life, the Rhinognatha measured less than a millimeter in length. However, in ARK, it will probably be the same size as the Meg. Please don't make the same mistake in ARK 2. Take your time and get this creature right. Buff the living hell out of it. Give it a cool texture and make it much larger. Because the current version we have in the game is nothing more than an overweight great white. And the last topic that I'm gonna cover today, new creatures. How do you get people to once again care about the ocean of ARK? Get some new creatures in there. Look, I'll even throw in some quick examples. The Helicoprion, the perfect replacement for the current Megalodon. This would allow the Meg to become what it should have been, with a new texture model and a resize. The Helicoprion is an interesting creature with potential for some cool abilities, and on top of that, it has already been modded into the game, so it isn't a big leap to an official addition. The Scyphactinus, whatever it's called. Another option which has already been modded into the game. This guy could fill the role of anything between the first real water battle mount up to the mid-game aquatic nightmare for all players. And the last one, and my personal favorite, the Sea Serpent. This one is simple. If we have a basilisk on land, why not a Sea Serpent in the depths of the ocean? Give it some nice abilities, maybe get some inspiration from mythology. Just make it powerful and cool looking. A simple recipe. Imagine taking an army of sea serpents and properly sized Megs into a underwater boss battle. That would be awesome. There's no way you can go wrong with this thing. I know ARK's oceans are pretty much beyond repair at this point, but I'm hoping they can at least implement these changes for ARK 2. As always, if you have any thoughts or other ideas, leave them in the comment section below. And maybe together we can grab the attention of Wildcard as we're waiting for some ARK 2 Ocean news. So yeah, that is for today's rant. See you in the next one. Spartacus out.